Well, sorry to interrupt your conversations, but we're moving on, and I'm going to show you how to make those seed crackers. It's the most oddest recipe because it's just a whole bunch of seeds. And you think, how on earth will that stick together? Well, it does. It's really odd how it works. It's very simple, and it's extremely good for you. It's just got really basic ingredients. And often when you buy crackers, you know, you buy these things and they're made with white flour and then they put a whole lot of flavourings in. But these ones, the flavourings is in the toasted seeds, which are really nice. They've got that nice, rich, full, nourishing smell and flavour. So hopefully you enjoyed those, and I'll show you now how to make them. It's very, very simple. So we start with 1 full cup of sunflower seeds. So in they go. And about 3/4 of a cup, slightly less, pumpkin kernels, so a little bit less than a cup, so that goes there. And then 1/2 cup of chia. So there is a bit of a hint as to how it sticks together. I'm sure you know a bit about chia. So that's going to go in too. And 1/2 cup of sesame seeds, and then in they go. And then you put in 1/4 cup of linseed, but you don't have to put it through the bullet, but it's better if you do. It's better for you. You can use the omega-3 much more effectively if the seed is ground. You probably know that, do you? I think Kerry hammers you with that most nourishes. So this is 1/4 cup of linseed that's been through the bullet, so it's all been broken into little bits. So there it is, and that goes. And then we're going to put in some flavourings. So we'll make the flavourings in another little dish here. So I've got some, it's basil, so I'll put about 1/2 teaspoon of basil, because basil's quite a strong herb. And then a good heaped teaspoon of oregano. This is my favourite herb. I love oregano, so not heaps of that. And about a teaspoon of garlic powder. But you know what? You can put in what you like. I forgot the salt. Sister, can someone get me the salt? Do you want to get me some salt? Lisa? Sorry, thanks, ma'am. So we'll just mix that up. And I need 1.5 cups of water as well. So I'll just get that ready while we're waiting for our salt. There we are, 1.5 cups. What's it? Oh, okay, look. It's on its way here. Look, I've got my little messenger coming. Thank you so much. Lovely. Good. Thanks, Lisa. And about a cup, not a cup of salt, that would be bad, wouldn't it? I do like salt, but not that much. So about a teaspoon of salt can go in there. But really, you can flavour this with what you like. You can just put in just garlic and salt, or you can put in just basil if you like basil, you know, whatever flavours you like. And the other thing I've got here is some rosemary. I've took a piece like that and just took all the leaves off, and then just with a knife just cut it till it's really, really tiny. Can you see that? So, and that goes as well. I do think rosemary's quite a nice herb if you know what you're doing with it. You don't use it that often, but it's a good little herb. Okay, so we're going to mix that all together. That's all your flavourings. But as I say, you can use whatever flavourings you like. So, and you could, if you wanted to, go sweet. You could put, instead of having savoury flavourings, you could have maple syrup or something like that. Might be quite nice. Or coconut sugar. Okay, so I'm going to just, first of all, I'm going to just put that 1/2 cup in with this lot here, just to mix it around a bit. And then that's going to go into I might actually mix the seeds up first, so there's sort of a knocking sound. Is it me or is it something else? Stopped. Oh, that's when I breathe. Perhaps I shouldn't breathe. Okay, let's mix that up. And now we're going to put in these herby things. And then another cup, so 1.5 cups. And I might just use that cup to rinse out this, so we use up all those bits. And that you mix up. And then what you do is you leave that for about 15-20 minutes, once you've mixed it all up. So rather than sit here and talk to you for 15 or 20 minutes, it so happens that I have already got some that's been done. So I'll grab that. So that's what you're doing, and you'll leave that just like that for half an hour or whatever, okay? And so then, half an hour later, it looks something like this. It's all stuck together. It's actually formed into look, do I tip it upside down? It's actually gone all hard in there. So I'm going to now just put all that onto this dish, and it must be lined. You must use baking paper. If you don't use baking paper, you'll just get distressed because it will stick on like glue. So this is all going on here. Now this is actually a half mixture. The recipe that you've got in your recipe sheets there is for a whole mixture, but this is only half, because what you'll do is you'll put half on one tray and half on the other tray, because if you have it too thick, it'll just be too hard to bake because you bake it long and slow. So basically, I'm just going to get some water now and put it in this little dish. And all you do is wet your hands and then just smoosh it out. Can you see that? Yep. Good. So it's something that kids would love to do in the holidays or whenever. And you've got that at home. Look, it's just such fun doing this. And so you just make it around the edges a bit like that. So you want it to be about, well, as thick as you saw those crackers. You know, what would be about 3 or 4 centimetres, was it? Millimetres, sorry. Yeah. But as I say, only do half. If you put the whole mixture on here, it'll just be too thick, and I don't think it would bake very well. But you bake it, now in your instruction sheets, your recipes, it says bake it for about an hour and a half, I think. But actually, originally when I made all those ones you've got, you had tonight, because I made so many, you don't want to be taking 3 hours to bake each one. So I did it a higher speed. And what happens when you do it at a higher speed is the edges get cooked quicker and the inside is a bit not as cooked. So when I made the ones you had tonight, the outside ones baked, or the outside edges baked, so I broke them off, and then once I baked it, and then put the centre back into the oven a bit to finish it. But if you do it for, if you bake it at say 150 or 140 even, and you'll bake it for about 3 hours like that, yeah. So, and that way, Vicky told me this, that way you don't have to break the edges off. It seems to, somehow the heat works differently and the whole thing bakes more evenly. And I did that with another one that I did this afternoon, and it worked. So, but it just took so long. It took 3.5 hours actually. Yeah, you might want to. What we had, I think it had 1 hour and 20 minutes, I think, didn't it? Is that what we put? Yeah. So it does actually take, yeah. If you put it on lower, it takes way longer, but then you have to, that difference between the edges and the middle being different, if you can understand what I mean. Yeah. So look at that. That is it. It's not hard, eh? And that goes into the oven, as I say, 3.5 hours at 140 degrees. And then what happens, 3.5 hours later, you have this. Just goes like that. It's amazing, eh? And then it just breaks up. You just break it up into nice little shards, and voila. This rather exotic-looking thing. Very healthy, incredibly good for you. I mean, there's no artificial things in there. There's no naughty things in there, not even any oil. It's just, real seeds and nice natural flavouring. So make sure you have a go at making these. It's really quite cool fun.